Hey everybody, this is Peter Hafner, certified financial planner, certified financial fiduciary. And today we got Dawn Myszka with us again. We're going to be talking about estate planning and the things you should be doing that maybe you're not doing and maybe you don't even know. So, hi Dawn, how's it going?
Hi, Peter. Good. And you? Nice to see you again.
I'm doing really good. Did I hear you just got back from vacation?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And where did you go? Did you go to Florida or what'd you do?
No, in Poland. Just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's great. Did you visit relatives or extended family or anything?
No, just went with a group, and 24 people and had a wonderful time. Met a lot of wonderful people on the bus, on the tour, as well as in Poland. It was something we'll never forget.
That's great. That's a nice way to go because you don't have to figure it out. All you got to do is be on time, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's really nice. You speak Polish too?
I do a little bit, yes. Yeah.
Well, enough to get by probably, huh?
And a little more so, to understand when they say something behind your back, you know.
Well, hopefully that don't happen very often.
No, 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 no.
All right. And Don, what I was thinking about today, what we're doing in our practice is we've had a couple of clients pass who were older from my perspective. So their kids are like my age. And we're just really thinking about this. What can we do to help the children of our clients, help our clients be organized and prepared uh, for the inevitable things that happen in life, like disability, like death, like maybe someone's in a hospital for a long time. So we're spending a lot of time on this now. And by the way, folks, we're going to be rolling out some more videos on this. But I wanted to take the time today with Dawn to see, kind of pick your brain a little bit, Dawn, about what best practices are. And really what I'm thinking about today is documents. Like it occurs to me that if someone has an insurance policy, but no one knows they have it, is the beneficiary ever going to get paid? I'm not sure they will. So, what are some of the important documents people should be holding on to? And how are you advising your clients to organize themselves so that if someone has to step in and help out, they can get their arms around the whole scope of the project?
When we first meet with clients, we always send out a questionnaire, and it's a fairly detailed questionnaire about their children's names, current addresses, dates of birth, as well as the client's accounts, brokerage accounts, stocks, life insurance, real estate, cars. We send out that questionnaire to clients, and some clients that receive it, they're a little intimidated and overwhelmed because they're like, oh my gosh, this is an 8-page document, and how can I complete this? But that is really important. And I've had another handful of clients say, wow, we sat down, over the weekend, we completed this questionnaire, and now this is going to help us know what they have as well as to give to their children. Because, yeah, Peter, and it's funny that you brought that up about with life insurance and somebody not knowing. So I just before I logged on here, I got a call from somebody who they thought that they and their parents did everything that I told them. Having beneficiaries designated, accounts paid upon the parents' death to the children, life insurance, all of that. They thought they had everything in order. Lo and behold, they go to the bank today and they discovered that their parent had this significant bank account only in the parent's name,
Oh,
that the parent either forgot about, didn't know about, and now we have to go through probate with this.
that's too bad.
So starting before coming to a lawyer, start putting together a list of your accounts, the account numbers, where are they located, life insurance information. That's important because, yeah, if somebody passes away, somebody's going to need to know where to look for those accounts, for those documents, and that should be the first place.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm thinking too is in addition to just having like a list, really there should be the rep's name, the life insurance person, the investment advisor. If you know the person at the bank, you should have the branch, you should have the phone number. And I guess so what we're doing is Sam is helping me, Sam and Katie are sort of spearheading this. And they've been doing research on what people like you do, your questionnaire. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to put together not just a questionnaire, but also a binder with folders inside of it. So you can put recent statements for everything in there. And then we do have a giant questionnaire also that sort of details everything so that like my parents are in their 80s now, you know, and my dad had to talk with me. Took me into my mom's sewing room and he opened up this little door and he said, "Okay, there's a checkbook in here, there's statements for this in here, and there's this other account." And for my parents, it's pretty simple. It's like, okay, that's pretty much it, you know? And I think for them, it might be that simple, but for other people, there's stuff everywhere. And people do weird things I've seen too. Like one of my friends, his dad, when he had to start doing required distributions, he went to the bank, took the check for the RMD, and then he went to another bank and somehow he opened another IRA and made a deposit, even though he wasn't eligible. And there were years of this going on that
Oh, no.
friend just found out about and they had to unwind. So yeah, we gotta get on top of this. So this is good. Now, one thing I also wonder about is the healthcare proxies. Super important, but I kind of get the sense that everyone, that many sources are creating healthcare proxies for people. Doctors are providing them, hospitals are providing them. I'm sure you're providing them along with the
Mhm.
other things you do. It's not the same as a POA. It's a little different, you know? So is that a problem that there could be these multiple healthcare proxies out there? And probably they're going to conflict because people just don't remember the choices they make, or they make a different decision.
So for healthcare proxies, unlike any other legal document that anybody signs, for healthcare proxies, if you signed a healthcare proxy today, okay, designating me to, carry out your medical wishes,
Right.
and then next week, Pete, you sign a new healthcare proxy appointing Sam to make your medical decisions. By law, the most recent healthcare proxy document controls. So
Yeah.
whatever prior ones that were in existence, whatever is the most current one, that's the one that the medical providers will follow. It gets a little complicated because if you signed a healthcare proxy, say from 2008, and you signed another one in 2012 and then another one in 2022, and you kept all of those prior ones that you've signed, you should not keep those prior healthcare proxy documents that you've signed. You should discard them. You should shred them. You should only have your current healthcare proxy that you signed so that there is no conflicting on who is supposed to be making those decisions or not. Because your doctor may have the one you signed in 2008. You got to make sure that you give your doctor the current one that you signed. Otherwise, he or she is going to be relying on whatever they have that you gave them that's in their file. And then things can get, a little difficult at that time then.
And in your questionnaire, you mentioned a whole bunch of different things. And that's I think what you're saying is that's where you start, right? You got to get
Yeah.
organized. You got to get your hands around the data. And you mentioned a bunch of different things like bank accounts, brokerage accounts, life insurance policies. I imagine you got to have your POA, your will, if you've got trusts, you want to have your trust documents, or you want to, at least in your questionnaire, we have this living trust and this other trust, that kind of thing. What else? And then the healthcare proxy too. What else might be on your questionnaire that people ought to be thinking about and sort of putting together in one place?
So if you were married and your spouse has died before you, has predeceased you, you may want to have a copy of their death certificate because you never know if that death certificate may be needed. If by chance you designated your spouse the primary beneficiary on a life insurance policy, and that for whatever reason the spouse never filed their claim for those benefits, and then now you have to, go back, find the death certificate, show that they may have died before you. It gets complicated, but the death certificates may be your marriage certificate,
Yeah, divorce
certainly a copy
certificates.
of, yeah, your birth certificate, your social security cards. Those are all important to have together. And if you have it in one folder, one location, as you were saying, how then you have different like columns or different subcategories for those documents, then it's a one place that you just have to look. You hand your kids, this 3-inch binder. But that's where, all of that stuff's important to have so that people know where to look. And in addition, if you have a life insurance policy, and if you're putting these notes together, you may want to include who the beneficiaries are so that way you have it handy.
And, probably in addition, if you're divorced, divorce certificates are going to be important.
Yep, that's good.
It'd be a good idea to have your driver's license, copies of front and back of that. And then, boy, usernames and passwords are so important today. And everyone's changed. Of course, you're changing them all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, digital property is becoming more and more prevalent. I mean, I own countless audiobooks, Kindle books, a lot of movies and TV shows now. Are you, I guess that stuff would go through probate, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. But that is also something that we need to know about, because when we're doing the wills and depending on how the individual, what their plans are for those digital assets, does it go to somebody? What happens to it upon death? That's also part of our questionnaire. If clients do have something like that, we want to know about that so we can tailor their wills to address that upon their death.
Is that in your questionnaire?
Yeah, digital assets. Probably the one big thing that will be happening when the new Buffalo Bills stadium gets built and they have the
Yeah.
personal seat licenses.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
lot of money.
that's gonna be a new thing that we're gonna be having to address. Yeah.
What's that rule about small estates where I think if it's small enough, it doesn't have to be probated. Is that true? Or did I make?
No, no. So a small estate is basically anything other than real estate
Okay.
that the total estate assets have to be under $50,000.
And these football seats it's gonna make that almost impossible. It's crazy.
Yeah, then they'd have to go through a full probate for that. Yeah, unless if they tailor it somehow to do some sort of succession planning when they're signing up for these personal seat licenses. I'm not really certain at this point.
Yeah. Can you put a transfer on death on your football seats? Probably not.
I don't know. Like it's going to be a very interesting thing to research.
Hey, my suspicion is people's books and digital books, movies, audiobooks, all that kind of stuff, it just gets forgotten and then it's gone. And it's really not transferring to anyone. I haven't read about this though. I don't know. I just know no one's sharing usernames and passwords. And I don't think people really think about this stuff. Is that what you're maybe seeing in practicality, what's really happening?
Yeah, and along with assembling your important papers together, having the list of your assets, I do tell clients, have that your passwords, your username, all of that within that whole package.
Okay. Hey, and for our clients out there, I want you to know, I mentioned it before, we are just now going to start rolling out a new service for you where we're going to, like the questionnaire that Dawn was talking about, we've developed one of our own where we're going to incorporate your important documents into a binder. So you got hopefully one 3-inch binder that you can just show your children, like my dad did. Here is where you need to go. This is where all the important stuff is. And then I think the organization is probably 90% of this, or at least 80%
That's
of,
right, yeah.
I mean,
But
you
one
can't,
thing, don't keep that binder in a bank safe deposit box. Please keep that binder somewhere safe in your house, maybe in a fireproof box,
yeah,
but do not keep all of that information in a bank safe deposit box.
what's,
Why?
yeah,
Because
tell me.
when you pass away, got to go through probate to
Ah,
access that safe deposit box.
no kidding.
And even though you may be joint on your safe deposit box with your spouse or with your children, some financial institutions will still freeze that safe deposit box, even though you may be joint with your spouse on it and your spouse has survived you. Now you got to go to court and don't do that. Don't
Yeah,
do that.
okay. That is really good to know. So the fireproof box in your house is where you want to put this thing. And you want your kids to know where the key is if you lock it so they
Yeah.
can get it unlocked and open it up. All right, this is great. I think this is a good place for us to finish for today. Also, do you have any last thoughts or ideas for us before we tune off for today?
I think the sooner that individuals start putting their list together of their assets, because for some people it may seem overwhelming and then they'll just put it aside, but it's important. But if you work at it a little at a time and then just keep updating it, you don't have to update it every week, but take a look at it, maybe twice a year when you do that. But I would get started on that.
All right, twice a year, give it a review.
Yeah.
Um, all right, this is great, Don. Thank you very much. It was great seeing you again, and we'll
Same
look forward to
here.
seeing you again in a month or a couple of months.
All right, Peter. Take
All right.
care.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
If you find these videos useful and informative, please subscribe. Please click the bell so that you're alerted when we put out new content. Feel free to share them with your friends and your relatives. Most importantly, I just want to thank you for joining me today. Hope you have a great day. I'll look forward to seeing you next time.